Aha! Here are 2 rules of Miyagi-Ryu karate. Rule number 1, karate for defense only. Rule number 2, first learn rule number 1. After you listen to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Reflux capacitor, fluxing, crew to stations. Scanning for The Karate Kid Part 2, 1986. Prepare to rewind in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games from 15 or more years ago. I am your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your XO and mine, Paul, the master kicker, puncher, interrupter powers.
Honk.
In addition to Paul, we also welcome aboard the hosts of the Peter Pan Syndrome podcast, where these Gen Y kids take you with them, to the second star on the right, straight on to the movies from their childhood. Alex and Ariana Ortiz. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
I am Alex Ortiz. I am Mexican-American, 3rd generation. I was born in Austin, Texas in 1992, and I'm here with my wife.
Ariana. I am also Mexican-American. I'm 1st gen. I was also born in Austin, Texas. Is that everything?
91.
I was born in 91 because I'm super awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
The superest of awesomeness. 91. Nice. Awesome, guys. So glad you guys are here. And now that you all have a quick flyby of who we are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of the production specs for The Karate Kid Part 2?
Hey. All right. The Karate Kid Part II, Captain, was released June 20th of 1986. It runs an hour and 53 minutes and is rated PG. It was directed by John G.
Avildsen.
Sure. Avildsen. The S is
Avildsen.
after the D, which is really hard to say for me for right now. Anyway, it was written by Robert Mark Kamen, with lead stars being Pat Morita, Ralph Macchio, and Tamlin Tamita.
Wow, you actually said those names right. Good job.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. We have to ask Tamlin. The music was composed by Bill Conti. Mm-hmm. And are you ready for the box office trivia game?
I'm ready. Alex and Ariana, are you ready?
Nope.
No, okay. Well,
all right.
I guess we'll wait.
We'll start without you. The Karate Kid Part II was made for about $13 million and earned over $115 million in the box office.
Well done.
So given this and the fact that it came out in 1986, how high in the box office rankings do you think it ranks among the movies that came out in 1986?
All right, so let's start with Ariana. What's your guess?
Oh, no.
I'll tell you what.
Do you have an idea of how many
top
movies?
50.
Top 50. Okay.
I'll break it. I'll narrow it down to top 50.
Okay.
Number 15.
15. Okay. How about you, Alex?
38.
38. Let's see. In chat, we have 86. What? I think that's when. Oh, that's I think that's when he shoot
the year.
When Ashley was born.
The year.
I'm very confused. Okay. Ashley says 11. Dale says 20. Bobo says 42. Of course. Real RK says 5. I'm gonna just guess 10. I'm gonna guess 10.
All right.
So
the answer was.
Yeah, go for it, Paul.
All right. The answer was 6.
Oh, 6.
So
Real RK wins that one. Wow.
Good job.
Good job, Real RK.
That was
Nice.
good. Wow. I was not expecting it to be that high, actually.
Yeah, me
right?
neither.
That's crazy.
But then again, I think
know
about 1986, and I'm like, well, what bangers came out in 86?
Yeah.
And probably 85 was really like where it was at.
And then 89, I remember
Yeah.
being really big also.
Yeah, 89.
But
91 was
Well, Top
also a great
Gun.
year.
91 was part of the
I hear it's the best.
Thanks.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much for those factoids, Paul. Thank you, Alex and Ariana,
Yep.
and chat for playing along with that fun game. But let's see if any of those factoids factor into our memory mind meld or our subsequent roundtable discussion, which we'll get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert, alert. Approaching target. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
Experienced the tradition,
Secret of Miyagi family karate.
the honor,
No believe in fighting.
the love, and the glory.
$600 say he break all six.
He became a hero. But this time, it's no game.
It's not tournament. It's for real.
Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita, The Karate Kid, Part 2.
That commercial definitely brings back some memories about The Karate Kid Part 2, but to give you some context for the things we collectively remembered most about before our rewatch, here is our memory mind meld synopsis for The Karate Kid Part 2, or Part II, like Paul likes to say. This is the one where they go to Japan. Daniel is dumped by Allie, and he sneaks on the plane to Okinawa, surprising Mr. Miyagi. While in Okinawa, Vinny's cousin, oh my gosh, learns he can break glass on a bet. Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel new moves while swinging death blades and drums, while Daniel gets a Japanese girlfriend, meets a new bully, and dances to the 50s bop. Remember, this is the one where they go to Japan. Daniel-san gets owned trying to use the crane kick, but then beats up the bad guy holding girlfriend hostage by punching him like a baby's rattle, because this is the one where they go to Japan. Certainly, he does go to Japan, in as much as Okinawa is part of Japan, but some of those memories were decepted. But based on those memories, as flawed as they were, what rating did they lead you to predict for this film before rewatching it? Classic, nostalgic, or tragic? Let's start with Ariana. What was your prediction before you watched Karate Kid Part 2?
I said nostalgic.
Nostalgic? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alex?
I also thought it was going to be nostalgic.
Nostalgic as well. Paul?
I'm gonna go with everyone else and say nostalgic.
Wow. Okay. I was the only.
Seriously, that's what I thought.
I guess I'm the outlier. I thought it was going to be a classic. I remember liking this movie a lot, even though it's been a while since I saw it. But it'll be interesting to see if those predictions pan out. But first, let's get into our discussion of the things we liked most about The Karate Kid Part 2. Let's spin up our
Best 3.
Though it's going to be probably best 2, though we may squeeze in some bonus ones in there, add more blocks of glass or ice to this breakdown of the things we liked. But let's begin with Alex this time. What's something you liked about The Karate Kid Part 2?
I really liked the Miyagi family dojo because I love lore, and I love, I think that was a big part of why Part 2 was successful, is because you're learning more about the story and the people, and Mr. Miyagi was definitely a part that we didn't really understand completely. We know he was in the military, but before that, being in Okinawa, so it was nice going into the family dojo, seeing the history of his family on the wall, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. Paul, what was something you liked? Was it the history or the Miyagi or the setting or anything like that?
Mine. I really liked how this movie continued. First of all, I thought it was great that they continued right after the
first movie. Goes right from the first movie into the second. It's a perfect link. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, bonus, if you didn't know, that was that ending in the parking lot, or that moment in the parking lot was originally the ending of the first movie, but it was such a climax up to the fight that they decided to cut the first movie right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I love how the first movie, Mr. Miyagi and Daniel really started this great friendship, and I love how they built on that in this movie, and just how I don't know how they did it, but it seemed like they related to each other even better this time around. Like they even though they spent most of the movie apart, now that I'm thinking about it, they're with but when they were together, they had such great moments. Yeah.
Oh. I guess they were apart for a lot of it. For some reason I thought they were together for a lot, Miyagi and Daniel. But yeah, no, I guess they were kind of apart for a good chunk of it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ariana, was there something about the characters apart or together that you really liked, or just something else to make your like list?
I really liked that Daniel tried to learn about Okinawa before even asking Mr. Miyagi if he could go with him to Okinawa.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really great.
Yes, absolutely. The thing I enjoyed centers around Miyagi, but more not so much Miyagi-Do like Alex, but just Mr. Miyagi in general. And he had this in the first film, but his wisdom nuggets I just enjoyed so much, like him saying, "Never put passion before principle. Even if you win, you lose." I love how Daniel says, "Mr. Miyagi, could you break a log?" And he says, "Don't know. Never been attacked by a tree." I just so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think no matter who's stranger, it doesn't matter who's stronger. It matters who's smarter. Just stuff like that. It's just so good. Just so good. All the wisdom he drops in this. So that was something that was the thing that made my main like. Let's go shoot right into classic makers though, guys. Let's start.
Can I get one more like?
All right. I'll cede the
no
floor
one else
to
is
you.
allowed.
Go for it.
Wow.
Okay. Daniel and Kumiko's chemistry seemed a lot more natural than with Ali.
Really?
I'll say it right now. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because
you know what? I agree with that.
I don't know. Maybe I like Elizabeth Shue too much. That I can't.
You probably do, but if we watch the first one, they just do this weird staring contest with each other, and it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Like when that kid from Jurassic World, when he looks over at the girls and he's just like staring at them.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally
older
what
brother?
they do. That's exactly what
For
Daniel
the
is
entire
doing.
day at the beach, they're just staring at each other.
Like a creeper.
Yeah. So anyway, let's not pick on Ali. Kumiko, like the way they like conversate with each other, and then them going to the dance together. It just seemed like he wanted to know more about her. He wanted to learn about their traditions and everything like that, and then asking if she was what is it if she's if she's spoken for.
Oh yeah.
Arranged marriage.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that chemistry was a lot better in my opinion.
You know what I wonder if it is, and I think that it makes a lot of sense that it would be this way, is because with Allie, she's like from the hills, she's like upper class, and so he's like fighting that dynamic, whereas with Kumiko, he doesn't have any of that, and so it makes sense that he's like learning. Oh, you want to be a dancer? Oh, that's so cool. Okay, great. Are there any schools here? Yeah, I could see how their chemistry would work better because they're almost on an equal playing field.
Right.
And yeah. All right. That's fair. Let me go to Ariana now for your classic maker. What was the thing you loved most about The Karate Kid Part II?
Mr. Miyagi getting down with Kreese.
Oh,
yes.
That was
nice.
Hands down. Like Kreese had it coming, and Mr. Miyagi, like he just moved a little bit, and Kreese just got.
I think that was the better ending. I think maybe leaving it in instead of a freeze frame probably would have been a little bit more satisfying, in my opinion. But
I think it ended where it should have. I think that having this little moment in Karate Kid was just amazing.
Well, maybe Paul will back me up because again, listening to the first Karate Kid Retro Rewind, it was like the way it stops, the way the movie ends so suddenly in Karate Kid 1, it's just like I probably would have liked to see Miyagi go against Kreese.
I think you know what, Alex, I'm with you in that I feel like it does sort of end very suddenly in Karate Kid part the Karate Kid, but I feel like since that's Daniel's story for most of it, like it's his arc, it makes sense to end with him winning, as opposed to this one. It's so much more of it is about Mr. Miyagi. That makes sense to start with him in that way.
Wow.
But I get what you're saying.
Way to win me over.
But that's an awesome one, Ariana. That's so cool to
definitely
see, like the two masters standing, going off, facing off. Yes.
Oh my gosh, he had it coming.
Oh, of course.
It was about time.
Let's go to Paul next. What was your classic maker?
Oh man, this is hard to. I don't know how to sparse these, but I thought these were such interesting characters that were introduced to this lore in such an interesting environment in an unpredictable stories. Like as I'm watching this, I didn't know what the way it was going, where it was going to wind up, and like, oh, who's this character? And then all of a sudden, like, these people are trying to kill Daniel all of a sudden. And it's like, not all of a sudden, it's like building up. And then like, oh, it's just, so it was a fun ride. I wasn't really expecting. I was like, okay, here's a boring trip to Okinawa, where there's like no TV, no internet, no, but,
that's
just
so
the dynamic. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say just the dynamics of the characters that were introduced, and even the actors that they got to play, like Sato, like his voice is just like commands presence and respect is just amazing.
I couldn't stop thinking about
his
voice.
What a formidable foe.
I couldn't stop thinking about his voice. I was like, oh my God, is this a Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I was like, this voice
it
is
sounded
so familiar.
like
I could hear that, but I don't think it is. But yeah, I can totally see that.
I don't think it is, but it very well could be. Like he's menacing enough to be like.
And then I thought he was the bad guy from Three Ninjas Kick Back, where they go to Japan.
Oh,
not Ninja Assassin.
No, not Ninja Assassin. I'm sorry. Three Ninjas Kick Back, the bad guy in there. I was like, is that not him? I looked on IMDb. It's not. It's neither of them. I was wrong twice.
That's funny though.
There's like more than one Asian guy out there.
What?
I know,
no
they're so good.
Yeah, Alex.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so let's go. Alex, was the fun ride of this and that you didn't know where it was going, did that happen to be your classic maker as well, or just something else really stand out for you?
It was actually something I wasn't even expecting. It was the 50s Dance Club.
Really?
Like that scene,
Oh my gosh.
I remember it the most, and it's what I look forward to every single time I watch the movie.
Okay.
I'm waiting for it, but I just really like it. It's just like I wasn't expecting to see like a 50s Dance Club here, and I was like, yo, this is pretty hype. I like it.
And it's fun seeing them
I was
dance together and
definitely
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I was like, this choreography is a little too good, but I don't care. I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really establish how he can dance like he can. I mean, she doesn't.
No,
she
they
say
said
that?
he's with
He
his
says-
mom. He danced.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
He was the dance
He was the
That's right.
practice partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had forgotten that. I
There's
didn't
one
fall
line
asleep.
in there that saved
I
it.
didn't fall asleep. I just forgot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That has nothing really to do with my classic maker except of the Daniel collection. But the thing I loved the most was, so in the Karate Kid, you get a lot of sort of Mr. Miyagi caring for Daniel, like teaching him both like wisdom and also the karate techniques and all that. But in this, you get to actually see Daniel's heart caring for Mr. Miyagi, both like going with him so he's not alone to face his father's death. And then after his father dies and they're on the beach sitting on that log, he is able to connect with when his father died and how he
That's
felt.
an amazing moment.
I had totally forgotten about that, and it just like really just drew me in so much that they're having this deep connection in that way, as in the sort of the father-son dynamic that they have. So I just really appreciate that. That was my favorite part of the Karate Kid part II.
Nice.
So any other bonus ones, guys, before we get to the things we didn't like about the Karate Kid Part 2? No.
I kind of liked how Daniel was being called out when he was judging that black dude for not being able to like chop the pieces of ice. He's like talking smack over his shoulder, And it's, well, you do it. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to do this.
That's a good point. That's a
So
good
why
point.
are you here?
He was just criticizing to criticize. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. So I like that part. I like him, getting put in his place.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, getting called out, he didn't really get put in his place. He did the thing.
Well, and then he had to really show what he could do.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Up.
Would breaking through ice just be a matter of like swinging your hips more? Because I'm not sure how tough ice is to chop through. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he said.
depends.
He
I don't
said
know.
you had to put your entire force in your hand.
I don't know. The way he swung his arm, and then the wind up didn't look like it was gonna go anywhere.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't know.
All right, since we're getting into one of my dislikes.
No. Before we do that, you know what? I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. Well,
Okay,
I'll just
all
throw
right.
it in right now.
All right.
It's the whole idea of him saying he's standing wrong, and then when he does it like the same exact stance.
Yes.
It's like
Oh, I
so-
didn't notice that.
Screw you,
Okay.
Daniel.
What?
I don't know what to tell you, but I
All
can
right,
tell
getting
you.
back to something that we like.
I can tell you something I forgot that I liked, guys, and that would be the Cellcast. Jacob and Drew review animated movies and TV shows, discussing what they appreciate about the medium and what about the animation medium in whatever form it takes, whether it's traditional hand-drawn animated movies or claymation shorts or 3D CGI series. Check out some animated reviews when you subscribe to the Cellcast at thecellcast.podbean.com. And don't forget, Cell is spelled with one L at thecellcast.podbean.com.
Oh, that's amazing. And you're saying that with the Karate Kid 2? Does that mean that they reviewed the Karate Kid cartoon series? I gotta check that one out.
I don't know, but there is a Karate Kid cartoon series which is animated, so that's the connection. Yes, I don't know if they've reviewed it though.
My mind is blown right now.
Oh, did you not know that there was a cartoon series?
I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Oh,
I literally was about to ask if
It's
there
okay,
was one, and then
neither
you said
did
there
I.
was.
Yeah, there was even like
Dang,
toys
you
that came
stayed-
out to promote it. I had a couple of those.
Oh,
toys
really?
that came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool, Paul. So there's your connection. So we probably don't need trivia now, right, Paul?
All right, let's skip it. No trivia this time.
That's not the answer you're supposed to give me, Paul.
Oh, I was trying to, support the captain and make sure there's no mutiny.
to support me.
Yeah. All right, fine. Let's not support you and go with some trivia.
Okay, fine, Paul. I guess since that's what you want. Did you all realize that Bill Conti chose to score this movie instead of Rocky Part 4, which came out in 1985? Coincidentally, Peter Cetera, who originally wrote Glory of Love, for Rocky 4, but Sylvester Stallone rejected it in favor of Hearts on Fire. So, and Glory of Love, for those that don't know, Glory of Love is the main love ballad thing for Karate Kid Part 2. So
Man,
here's
Hearts on
sense
Fire
'cause it's
though.
more-
Worth it.
So here's my question for you guys.
Yeah.
What is your favorite power/rock ballad from a movie? It doesn't have to be retro. That'd probably be more apropos, but it could be from any movie you like. Let's start with Ariana.
Oh no. Can I go after somebody else because I forgot
Let's
the name?
start with Alex.
Sure. Oh man, you guys, at the end of Good Boys from 2019, when the kid sings "I Want to Know What Love Is" by Foreigner.
Oh my god.
Man,
Yes.
it was so good. And
What movie is this? I don't.
Good Boys from it. It was called
It's
the
a dirty
Prepubescent
movie with little
Superbird.
boys in it.
They were good boys, you guys.
Is this
That
the
was a
kids that
great
were trying to run
movie.
across
Yeah.
the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man,
I've
that
only
was
seen
that was a
ads,
good
but
one.
okay.
Yeah, the
It was a
ending
great movie.
Yeah.
pretty good.
Awesome. Very cool.
You know what?
what,
It's
Paul?
so funny because that is exactly mine. Like I could
What?
be
Yeah.
having the best day ever. And it's a relatively, sad song. But when that chorus hits in, you just gotta like
Yo, let's go!
sing along,
Okay, cut it, Paul. So
You
know
really?
what? Paul.
So from the same
also-
movie and everything, that's yours,
Oh
Paul?
God.
No, it's been in dozens of movies. I'll
Oh,
tell you
okay.
what,
All right, fair.
it was in one of my favorite trailers to it's a horrible, horrible movie, it turns out, but it got me to see the movie, which was Chipmunks 2, The Squeakquel.
Oh, gosh.
And it's just like 30 seconds where Alvin sees, they play this song and he sees Britney for the first time. And I'm like, oh, yes, they got me. It's so good.
Awesome. Let's go with, let's see. Well, let's actually go with Paul next. Or is that yours, Paul, then?
That was mine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
Okay. Sorry. I'm losing track of my mind. I don't know. I'm nowhere here, apparently. Let's go.
Are you reading chat?
Let's go with Ariana next. What was yours,
Okay.
Ariana?
I'm prepared this time.
Okay.
Nice.
It must have been Love by Roxette.
Nice. That's a good one,
Movie.
too.
What movie is that from?
But it's
Pretty
over
Woman.
now.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. Awesome.
Yeah,
I like
it's-
that.
Yeah, I've liked it for a long time. I just never knew what it was called, apparently.
Yeah, for sure. Man, you were showing
Which
it.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you were showing it to me. I was like, yo, this is pretty good too. So I'm right there with you. Also, runner up, I don't want to miss a thing from Armageddon. What's up?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No.
I know my runner-up.
Which is?
But-
I know. Can you say it, or do you want me to say it?
No, I don't want you to.
Okay,
She's
I'll let you
embarrassed.
say it.
I would do anything for love. By
Oh,
Meatloaf.
yeah. But
The
you
Dr.
won't do
Pepper
that.
commercial.
By
Do
Meatloaf?
what?
But I won't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, that
okay.
one.
Okay.
I would do anything.
Oh,
for
yes.
love.
Okay. Thank you.
That
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was huge.
From
That
the
one.
from the Dr. Pepper commercial,
Oh.
because we didn't know a movie that it was from.
I don't have a tie-in for a movie specifically. I just know that is the most amazing, and I love it.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Very cool, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, great trivia, Francisco.
Paul, what was your? Sorry, Francisco, what was yours?
What?
Wine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the one from the Squeakquel.
Mine was...
Oh yeah, that's
No,
right. Yo, let's go.
Got it.
Did you
All
say
right.
yours, Francisco?
It was the Squeakquel.
Oh,
I
oh.
forgot.
Oh,
No,
you're
Francisco.
asking me of mine? Oh, well, thank you,
Yes.
Ariana. That's so kind of
You're-
you to
you're
ask
welcome.
about mine. Wow, that's very
You're
kind of you.
welcome.
So I was trying to look it up, by the way. You guys could probably help me. It's the one from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's like,
Yes. I will...
it's not I Will Do Everything for Love, but it's...
No, I know. Now I have that song stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
I'd lie for you.
Not
I
Men
do
in Tights.
anything.
Yeah.
No,
Prince of, I know it's Brian Adams. And so maybe
Yeah.
someone in chat
I think I saw it in
knows.
chat.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it there too.
Oh, did they say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Family Guy song.
Let's see. There's Everything I Do. Something. Like
I do
that.
it for you.
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
Then
That's
there's
it.
the.
Yeah, everything I do.
Yeah, that
I
one.
do it for you. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
enjoying that one a lot. So I'm going to pick that one.
Nice, good pick.
Oh, that's nice.
Is it, Paul? Is it nice?
You can just hear the melody.
Yo,
There it is.
Cut it.
We
We're not
jamming.
reviewing these movies. We can't just include
We're
them.
talking
because of
about
that.
them.
All right.
I thought we can talk about, if we're talking
if
about
we're-
them, we
it's
can
so-
include them.
If we're reviewing this song, but we're not really reviewing the songs, we can. If
Well-
it's music from this movie, that's fine.
Everything I do, I do it for you by
1 o'clock,
Brian
2
Adams. Now
o'clock,
we're
3
reviewing
o'clock,
it.
rock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, rock.
Hey,
Rock.
Oh,
around the clock
okay,
tonight.
fine.
Anyway, Paul, did you like that trivia?
Yes, I love that trivia. In fact, we're going to keep it going in just a bit. But I have the answer to our last audience question, which again was, what is your favorite foreign film?
Awesome. And we only had one entry this time from Drew Dodgen from the Cellcast. And he said his favorite foreign film was Your Name, which is an anime, for those that don't know.
Yes, that's
and
nice.
I haven't seen that, but he is actually already a member of our 4D fan club, which is the membership you get for a month if you win the trivia question. So, Drew, I'm going to count on you to let me know if there's someone else you'd like to have me share that 4D fan membership with for the month. But I'll work that out with you later. But thank you for answering that trivia question.
Great. Now here's this episode's listener question.
Fantastic.
Curious minds want to know, what is your favorite power rock ballad from a movie?
Wow, how did
We
you
played
come up with
ours, and
that?
Francisco yelled at me. So hopefully you can submit yours without him yelling at you.
Don't worry, I own the tape. It's in my car.
Boombox that you're holding up.
As referencing the next thing we're gonna review, but okay, Paul.
All right.
Anyway, yes. So send your answers to trivia@retrorewindpodcast.com by the time we record our next episode, which gives you usually a week and a couple days. So yeah, let us know what your favorite power/rock ballad from a movie is. Again, send that to trivia@retrorewindpodcast.com. Now that we have had some trivial fun, let's find out what memories our awesome rewinders have about The Karate Kid Part 2. David Bobke says, I remember how it wasn't Kung Fu Hustle. Actually, I've never seen it. Is it the one with Pat Morita and Jay Leno? No, it's not that one.
No, not Collision Course. But Daryl Hafner says, this was definitely my favorite of all the Karate Kid movies. Ooh. I think it gave Daniel a lot more character growth. I loved how much it showed some of the traditional beliefs, with honor being so big and the tea ceremony and the bone dance. I don't know what a bone dance is.
I think that's the drum thing. I don't know.
That's what they called. No, when she was doing it, it was called B-O-N-E. It was B-O-N, but it was pronounced bone. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The final fight scene showed that a lot as well. The nephew ignoring his uncle because his uncle shunned him, and how besting Daniel in a fight would earn him back his honor. Just all around the best story of these movies. Ooh. The defiant classic of the 3 original movies. Wow, that's pretty brave.
Nice.
I think it's. I wonder if that's supposed to be definitive, not defiant, but maybe defiant classic.
It's defiant because a lot of people.
Everything else.
Yeah.
And then Wardell White says, my favorite movie theater experience I ever had was when I saw this movie. There were some dudes in the back row of the theater that seemed like they were heckling the film, but were just funny. When it got to the rag scene and Daniel punched Chosen between the legs, them dudes were all over the theater laughing and being in the seats cheering Daniel on. You thought we were at the Arsenio Hall show. They were so charged up over it with all the hooping and hollering they were doing. That and Pat Morita at his best. Tamara Tomika, the climax to the fight between Daniel and Chosen, and Peter Katira's Glory of Love. Great time at the movies. Well, none of those comments lead us into our next section, the things we didn't like about The Karate Kid Part 2. But
so let's skip it.
We still have to go into the things, because there are some things that, I mean, unless you really consider this to be better than Princess Bride, Paul, I'm sure there's things that we didn't like.
gotta review it then.
Worst 3.
Our worst 2 this time. Spun Up. Thank you, Alice. Let's begin with Ariana this time. What is one thing you disliked about The Karate Kid Part 2?
Chosen.
Really? Oh. What do you like? Like,
he was ripped.
Expand on that.
He can be ripped all he wants. He can have that. Whatever. That's fine.
Well, that's a win in my book.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. But he was just the biggest butt.
Yes,
yeah.
That's
besides
true.
Kreese.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, I'll let you finish.
Man
Yeah.
had nothing to do with Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all he knew was that he was Mr. Miyagi's student.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was like, you're done.
Yeah.
This is it. For no reason other than he was Mr. Miyagi's student.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I thought about putting him as a dislike because most people, that guy has a mouth on him.
Right.
And he talks way so much. And usually people that talk that much are not good fighters. And people who are good fighters don't need to talk that much. He's a weird combo.
Yes.
It's like something that you don't really see a lot in the world. And so they just made that's like a hint of a made up character. Cause I don't think most people wouldn't fall into that category. But I thought he was not an admirable, but I thought he was a good foe for Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Daniel, he was fine.
Yeah.
There was one moment that just really, really made me dislike him.
Mm-hmm.
It was when what is her name? Daniel's girlfriend?
Kamiko.
Kamiko.
Kamiko. Yeah, when she threw, I think it was like an apple or something
The
at
tomato,
him. And his shirt
boom,
dirty.
right on his back.
And he like gets all like cocky and he's like takes off his shirt, like insinuating or saying that she wants to see that anyway.
Yeah, and what did he do after that? He threw it at her.
Threw it at her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Wait, no, and what did he say after that?
I forget.
What was the line?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I just
You
remember
can
him
keep
doing
it for
that.
your
Was
collection.
Yeah,
I
that
know
was
you
a
like it.
baller
Yeah, that's
move,
right,
though.
that's right.
Oh, man. I love it.
That was gross. Did not enjoy. Yeah, I think that's probably why I hate him, actually.
It's pretty great.
You know what? I have a very similar dislike in our bonus content covering Cobra Kai season 2 that we'll get to later tonight. But
I know you like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay, yeah, Ariana, I can totally get behind that. I mean, that's always an odd dynamic because if they write the bad guy in a way that you don't like him, then like they do their job then, as opposed to a bad guy that you sympathize with necessarily, but still at the same time, I mean, you don't like it. So yeah, I totally.
There's
totally get
something
that.
off about that character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just like a butt just to be a butt. I think there's just
Well, yeah,
no
that's what-
real
that's what bullies
reason
do.
behind him.
Okay, well, okay.
No.
Let me ask you guys this: how do you feel like he differs from Johnny from the Karate Kid in terms of because Johnny, in a lot of ways, until we find out more about his backstory in Cobra Kai, is a butt to Daniel.
Well, he's a butt because he is literally fighting over a girl. Like it's not just that. Oh, this guy. I don't like him. Forget him.
It's more okay.
Daniel. Yeah,
But was
Daniel
Jo-
goes and makes the move on his girl.
Okay.
So
But,
I can see he's jealous, so he goes for
but
it. That makes sense.
But
to me.
was Johnny using fake weights to trick an entire village out of money that they
no,
deserve?
he wasn't.
Oh,
that's
good point.
That's also
Good
another
point.
reason that I don't like
So
him.
Johnny, pretty awesome.
All right,
Johnny's
yep.
pretty great.
That's a good
I don't
evaluation.
know about that. He's still a hothead.
Oh, I think there's another
True,
hothead
true.
we'll talk about another time.
Oh, yeah.
Later.
Oh, yeah.
But Paul, apparently you want to talk, and I like to let people talk who like to talk because it lets you know how full of S they are.
They are.
I'm kidding.
Nice.
Not that you are, Paul. I'm just quoting Rush Hour. Okay,
Wow.
calm down
I'm
over
just
there. Calm down. I would like to know, Paul.
See,
what
that's
don't you
why
like
I'm not
about
buff. I do a lot of talking instead.
Paul? What don't you like about Karate Kid Part II?
Okay, so this is actually, I'm going to bring in my wife's, this is what she said was her tragic maker.
Oh, okay. But this isn't your tragic maker. You're just
No. I'm using it as my dislike to
Got
set
it.
up. Okay, so the honking. It's when Mr. Miyagi did it, and then when Daniel did it, it seemed silly and over the top and
Inappropriate.
it's totally out of context with the rest of the movie. It's all of a sudden we're in a cartoon.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cute and fun. I can see how it could take people out, but I'm just wondering what your guys' take on it.
Not a
thumbs up or
fan.
thumbs down for the honk.
I liked it.
It's split.
I'm sort of medium. I'm
Oh, great!
why
we're all over the
why
board.
don't you, Francisco?
Fine. I don't need the support, I guess.
So Alex, why don't you like it as well?
It's just like Paul was saying. It's so cartoony. You
cartoony.
have the moment to just stop your hand right before hitting crease, and it could have that's a pretty solid move too. I mean, we kind of saw that in First Blood Part 2, and then also at the end when you were about to be murdered, and then you're gonna honk this man's face. I'm
The
like,
two most dramatic moments in the whole movie, almost.
Yes.
And then it's like interrupted with a cartoon.
So I
sound
mean,
effect.
I
I changed my mind. That ending. I'm fine with it being cut. I don't like it.
Oh, wow.
Backtracking.
Here's the thing, and Ariana, maybe you can add to this. I like that it's bookended, and it's Daniel doing what his sensei does, and that carries over. That makes a lot of
So
sense.
no bad student, only bad teacher.
Exactly. And for the honking, I'm sort of ambivalent. I don't know how else you show mercy in an active way. I mean, certainly you could, if there's a book, you could say how Mr. Miyagi's thinking is like he's going to go ahead and show him mercy, but you can't see that on screen. So how do you show that he is being merciful without something like that? I don't know.
I would think maybe drop them and let their own weight, you drop them on their back. You didn't finish them, but you still kind of like you disrespected them in a way. It's like
what you could do, like if you want to be cartoony, you can like not. You can push them and like blow air on them, and so it's like doing like a timber move with them or something.
What move?
Timber, like you push them over onto their back.
Okay.
But you kind of like act like you're blowing them over, like a leaf. Yeah, or like
I could see something like that being cool. Okay, I'll warrant that, I suppose.
But I thought it was a fun. But I like silly and goofy, so
okay. I mean,
that's I enjoyed that because in the last movie when he gives it is the last movie, right?
What are you saying?
Karate Kid when he gives Daniel a car.
Yes, that's the
Yes, okay.
Right. It was like the last movie. That was the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The last one before this one.
My fault. Continue.
Calm down.
Sorry.
You should be. So when it kind of shows that playful side to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Because we see him being kind of a little bit goofy in the first one, but not as much as actually going into and grabbing somebody's nose and saying honk.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Okay. And like you said, Daniel's just doing what his sensei taught him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you just see what he's learning. He's not learning to just keep beating this man when he's already on the ground.
Imagine Miyagi getting mad at that was my joke.
How dare you?
I didn't teach you that.
Oh, that's funny, guys. Something that I didn't like that also has to do with Miyagi, though, is, and I'm not sure if this is really a dislike, but I just don't know how I feel about it. Maybe you guys can help me unpack this. I don't like that they established in the first movie he had a wife that then they went to an internment camp and he lost his baby, and there's so much emotional weight with that. Then you find out he had this flame in Okinawa from when he was first living there. They had to leave, and now he's come back, and they rekindled. And while that is sweet, and it's not like he's cheating or anything like that, I feel like it sort of undercuts the emotional weight from the first movie. So that's why I don't really like. Oh, you don't? Okay, that's fair.
They're both dead, and they've both been dead for decades. Let the man move on.
Well said, Paul.
No, it's,
wow. Jeez.
But I guess I don't like the idea that he's been secretly having this flame even while he was married to this other woman, I guess is what I'm sort of thinking.
I don't think he like necessarily had a flame, but maybe it was like on the back burner, like way like
back burner. There's a flame there.
Yeah,
that's why it's called the back burner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Francisco, is it possible to love cartoons and video games at the same time?
No, it's not.
Get out of here.
But Francisco, that segues into my dislike. If you want to, so Yukio, we haven't talked about Yukio. She was the love interest that y'all were talking about.
Mr. Miyagi, right?
Mr. Miyagi. Yeah. In going into my dislike, I don't. Okay, on an emotional level, it hurts me that she never married, like she was like she was like meant to or supposed to. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that.
Yeah.
But I just don't like when characters like waste their life for a love they know is never going to come back. Like that just frustrates me. I mean, at least make her a widow.
I actually watched this movie
with commentary
once, and then actually total 3 times playing it on the background. Okay. And the first time I felt the same way. But the second time I realized they had this conversation. Miyagi said, but you knew I wasn't going to come back. And even though that they didn't work out, he said, you never married. Yeah. Why didn't you marry? Because she says, she loved him. And he said, yeah, but you knew I wasn't coming back. And she says, yeah. So it's almost like, and not almost, to me it seems like she used him as an excuse not to get married. She'd rather not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I kind of see that.
Yeah.
It's just my dislike because, like, I guess now that I think about it, I think that's more of a personal thing because if my parents divorced when I was 2 and my mom never dated and she never, not that I know of, never dated, never remarried, and it's like I would want you to be happy, and if that meant having a stepdad then or a bonus dad, then that's something I would like for you to have. But just seeing my mom never dating, it's just it doesn't fill me with as much joy as if I did see her happy with somebody.
Yeah, I
Basically,
could see
why
that.
does it have to stop here?
Well, yeah. Why does it have to stop here?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, that makes sense. The why she never got married again. But I sort of understand her side though. Like, if you're not gonna marry your true love, why get married at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
know,
can love someone else.
Because this is like for the rest of your life. This isn't like, oh yeah, let's get married for a couple of years and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
find
yeah.
another true love.
Yeah, you can love
Yeah.
again.
You know, I figured she's a strong enough woman. If the right person came along, she would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just maybe no one ever came, and that's a small village
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
not like
well, that's true too. I didn't think
Exactly.
about
yeah.
that.
So
Everybody knows
Exactly.
everybody.
Yeah.
anyway, okay, yeah, that's totally fair, guys. All right, so I think that's all the things we disliked. Now let's get into our tragic makers, the worst parts about the Karate Kid Part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and kick this off. Because,
Kick.
well, it does have to do with martial arts technique used this. It's not the honking thing. But okay, so I get, even though the crane kick in the first one is really just a glorified front kick that
Right.
Yes.
really
It's unstoppable.
Johnny could have blocked. I think something about the wings made him, I don't know, just he was just
Distracted him, yes.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So it's clear in the audience's mind at least what's happening. It's a move that's unexpected that gets the best of Johnny. In this
I'm
one,
so thankful that you're saying this because this is also mine. I know
Okay.
exactly where you're going.
in this
Let's
thing,
go.
I don't understand how the drum technique is used to somehow overcome Chosen. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. I don't get. I only slightly get how he came up with it from the swinging, the fish blade of steel thing. But it's still, I don't get how like this random swinging punch like this is all of a sudden gonna, whoa, Chosen, who's this master black belt guy with the ripped abs, is gonna all of a sudden just be, I don't know what to do with this. I'll just take it on the chin over and over again.
Because he doesn't
Thank
know how to
you.
block.
Like, apparently not. What the heck? So that's my tragic maker. I just don't. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see how that
I don't
overcomes
think
Chosen.
you are, because the drum move is also my tragic maker.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's mine too. Yeah.
It looks so goofy. It's just like, okay, I feel like whoever came up with this movie went to Japan and then went into a souvenir shop and got one of the drums. I'm like, I can figure something out here. Like this drum is found in like every single country. It's in Mexico and it's in Canada. It's everywhere in every souvenir shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like this was a really dumb thing to take over the crane kick.
Yeah.
But I do like that the crane kick got blocked in this one. That was
Yes.
pretty rad.
Yeah. That's good. That means
but-
that's a way of upping the stakes, like we were saying before. Yeah.
To answer your question, this is actually makes it worse for me.
Oh,
But,
gosh.
The writer of this actually wrote Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
And he wrote it because his master, the guy who taught him, was taught in Okinawa. And
Oh, wow.
from the traditions and it all handled down. And that drum thing is actually what he told him, is that everything that about karate that you need to know is in this drum movement right here.
Really?
And it's a real life thing. The tragic part is that it's not explained at all clearly in this movie of how it like, okay, I can see how it can be used for blocking, like with the blades coming at him.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
dodging in some way. Yeah, I get
Right.
that. Yes.
Do a parry.
Yeah.
But
It looked like he was trying to figure that out. He was trying to figure out, well, what am I doing? Am I blocking? Is this how I block?
Yeah.
And then he just ends up swinging at this guy over and over again from side to side.
I'm
right.
thinking about it in my head. It looks so dumb.
It's amazing that
He's
just
not even
swinging.
doing it fast. He's just going like,
It's
Yeah.
almost
It's like
he
he's
could've
exhausted and he's like his arms
Yeah.
are barely hanging on.
It's a brilliant strategy, obviously. I saw the movie.
Have you guys seen Ace Ventura When Nature Calls? And he
Let's
gets
go!
Numb arms. And he's like, "Ugh." It's like, That's what he's
Exactly.
trying to do. It's ridiculous.
Two darts is too much. Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
That's a good one.
craziness.
well,
Anyway,
wonderful.
okay, so that was my tragic maker. It was apparently Paul's and Alex's. So I guess that leaves you, Ariana. What's your tragic maker for the Karate Kid Part 2?
Mine involves the drum.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not quite exactly but I just don't feel that last fight scene was absolutely necessary in this movie. a lot to do with it because of that dumb conclusion that he came up with. It was just to punch this man over and over again in his face.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like it was necessary. Like, he was gone, he left, he wasn't coming back. Dishonoring him, dishonoring his cow.
And the uncle was on board too.
No, yes, it was done. It was over. It was.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I just don't think that it was absolutely necessary. It was a good watch. I mean, I guess
you need a climax. So I guess if this is what you can come up with, but I agree with you.
I mean, the climax already happened. Like, they
with the storm
defeated the
With the
storm.
storm.
They defeated that damn storm.
They defeated the storm.
And
then they got
Daniel gets a hero
the
movement
bond.
there, so, go.
Yeah, they got. Sorry.
No. I
got
shouldn't have touched
the bond in the castle. They got the castle back.
They got the castle back.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the
rad.
climax, ending it with oh God, what's her name?
With
Kimiko?
Kimiko.
Yeah.
With Kimiko doing the dance, I just think that would have been perfect.
You know what? Yeah, if they let her finish the dance, because it was beautiful. I loved watching that. I was like, I had forgotten this part. This is great. And yeah, you're totally
ended
right.
with the credits over the dance. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
Sure, I'd be fine with that. I think, but I feel like you get a climax. So much of this film is the heart of the characters, and you see Daniel have a heroic heart moment when he goes after that kid up on the bell tower, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I know
this is
this
like a fight. This is a Karate Kid movie.
guess-
You want to see a fight at the end with the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I do. I don't want to see Jim Carrey swinging his arms though at the end. So let's go, Mr.
I do. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Also, going back to that little girl on that tower,
She deserved it.
why was she up there for that long?
You rung the bell.
You rung the
You
bell.
did your job.
Everybody came out.
Where are your parents?
Why didn't you get off this thing? Why are you still there?
I don't know.
I thought
I'm
that one of my dislikes is right there. It's like, okay, Daniel takes out his belt and whips down an electrical power line. Do you know how hard that is to do with a little rope?
Oh my gosh! And then that little girl was just like straight up choking.
Yeah,
him.
like from Jurassic Park, where Lex is on
Yes.
Alan's back. Yeah.
Like, how did he
Lex,
even have?
Lex, you choking me?
How did he even have the
It's
breath
slippery.
support to carry
He's
this
holding
little
on for her
girl
life.
and climb down? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like her.
not
And then they
fan.
ask Chosen to help him. Like, why? What else can someone
Yeah.
do?
I think we, too many cooks in the kitchen. I think let Daniel get this.
But I think you needed to see how Chosen was a coward at heart.
Yeah.
And then he went out. Oh, Daniel conveniently tripped with the girl. He needs help. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that little girl was like more than half his size.
Yeah.
She was.
And it was
But
slippery.
He's karate trained. He has he's wiry. He's strong.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have Chosen abs, but still.
That's true.
Exactly. Apparently,
Anyway.
he's Alex's dibs.
Nice.
Well, guys, you know what? Now that we've entered all our targeting information into the firing computer, Alice, do you have a firing solution for us?
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo at the ready. On your mark.
It's time for the moment of truth. Do we rate The Karate Kid Part 2 a classic? Would recommend anyone go see this movie, whether or not they've seen it before. A nostalgic, it's definitely worth a rewatch if you remember watching it as a kid and liking it. But if you've never seen it before, probably just pass on this one. Or a tragic. It's not worth anyone's time today. If you've never seen it, keep it that way. If you have seen it before and have fond memories, don't sully them with a rewatch. So let's start with Ariana. What is your final rating for The Karate Kid Part 2?
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic still. So that was your
Sticking with it.
prediction.
Mhm.
Continuing on with it. Awesome. Alex, how about yourself?
I went tragic.
Tragic, really?
Yeah,
oh my
I just-
goodness.
I just think it's just, I don't think it needed to happen. It was just, I feel like you could have came up with a little bit better story. It just felt like a lot of filler, a lot of love stories, Oh,
okay.
Between, the two pairs, and then just the whole deal with the uncle and the village and the nephew. And I was just like, I don't know. I kind of think of things like, if I'm showing this to a new person and I'm staring at, and I'm like glancing over them, watching it, and I'm thinking, man, how much are they enjoying this? That's kind of what I was seeing. I see a lot of people getting bored watching this.
All right. Fair. Paul, how about
Well,
you?
I'll tell you what, I was not bored. I was pleasantly surprised with all the characters and, like I said, the way the story was going. So to me, it's a classic. I'd recommend it.
Whoa.
Like I like the first movie, and I thought this was a great continuation of the Karate Kid lore.
Mm-hmm.
So, Captain, you're the tiebreaker. We have a three-way tiebreaker. Three-way.
So it goes with
Score right
whichever
now.
one I choose. Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Pressure.
yeah. No whammy, stop. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a romantic, but I thought this was a classic as well. I think the emotional journey that the characters went on was really impactful for me. I still liked how the characters developed. It wasn't even that drum thing is so dumb, but
Yeah,
I think
agree.
the where the characters went, how they didn't stay stagnant, like they continued to grow, even though it was a sequel, and a lot of sequels you could sort of get samey or just be like same characters. They haven't changed much. They're just in a new
like
setting.
Indiana Jones.
So I appreciated that about this. So
Is it like the first Superman movie where it's like really good throughout, and then that ending is just like so terrible you just ignore it?
That's a good way of putting it. Yes. Yes. Anyway, so according to the Retro Rewind podcast, we're very divided, but ultimately we rate The Karate Kid Part 2 a very disputed classic film. We'd recommend anyone go see this, whether or not they've seen it before.
Wow.
Whoa, wow. But now it's time to get back to our own time, good old 20XX.
20XX.
Comsat online. Receiving incoming transmission.
Alrighty, guys. It feels good to be back, but we wouldn't have been able to travel back to 1986 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing reflux capacitors, namely Jared Holzhauer, Deborah Powers, Brian Keating, Patrick Hicks, LJ Lowry, Chris Cowan, the Phil and Film Podcast, Chris Owens, Geek Devotions, the Untold Podcast, Mrs. Lomax, James Kennison, The Dapper Man, Driv the Cellcast, Ashley Cronenbitter, Pastor Dewson, Kennethan, Redeemed Utaku, Ryan Lingle, That's Our Babo, Josh Adams, and D Tungsten. In addition to 5 other awesome patrons as well. Thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help us keep flying for as little as $1 a month and get bonus content for your generosity, like our reviews of Cobra Kai each season, then head over to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to help us grow via Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal.
And while we're thanking our supporters, we want to give a big Miyagi hug to our subscribers on Twitch, which is another way to send us a couple bucks a month. Is that still true?
No, it's not still true, but we do have something called the 4D Fan Club, which is where you can sign up, like do a one-time $4 donation and get a lot of the benefits that we have in our live streams. Or if you're a patron at the $4 level or higher, you get those same benefits for our live streams. So
that one $4 tip or whatever, how long does that last?
For
is
1 month.
Forever?
For like
1
30
month.
days, essentially. 30 days.
Oh, so if I donate on the 30th, it lasts till the next 30th? Or does it last till the 1st?
Whatever calculation Google Sheets gives me for 30 days plus the day I enter, it's that day.
All right. So go to retrorewindpodcast.com/
live.
Donate?
Live to go to, that'll kick you over to our live stream on Twitch.
Okay, cool. Is that about does it?
Yes.
All right, hold
Thank
on.
you, Paul. But what if you don't have the extra cash every month to be a 4D fan or support us via Patreon, but you still want to support us? You could do a one-off donation for our merch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. But even better than that is sharing your favorite episode of the podcast with a friend. I mean, maybe it was this one. Maybe you love this one so much. But whether you listen for the banter, the trivial tidbits, or sometimes the occasional insight, we would love for more people to enjoy Retro Rewind podcast for that same reason you do. So please be kind and share Retro Rewind.
Hey.
RetroRewindPodcast.com/218 is the place to find timestamps for this episode, links to contact us, and links for voting on the movies you want us to review. But that's not the only place you can reach us. Paul, where else can people find the show and also yourself?
Thanks so much for asking. I'm going to read a script right now. Feel free to talk to us and share anything you like or find funny that is 15 years or older on social media. We are Retro Rewind Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can join Discord server by going to retrorewindpodcast.com/Discord. Also, I have mentioned we are on Twitch. Watch and chat with us live like these fine folks are doing right now, where we do this podcast, play retro video games, and create pixel art. That is old text. What are we talking about? You can follow us. Sorry. You can follow us at twitch.tv/retrorewindpod or on Facebook or YouTube, actually. And if you want to find me, Paul J. Powers, you can go to pauljpowers.com where you can stop by and say hi.
Thank you so much, Paul, for being an awesome friend. Awesome fellow, like you're my Sato to my Miyagi, maybe. Hopefully we don't become at odds.
I feel you.
Hey, they're friends at the end, and that's what matters.
No honor.
But so I so love getting to do this podcast with you.
Likewise. And I am so thankful and grateful to our guests for coming back to discuss The Karate Kid Part II with us. So let's start with, let's go with Ariana. Tell us how people can find you online and is there anything you'd like to promote?
Yeah. You guys can find us on Twitter at ppsyndromepod and on Tumblr at ppsyndromepod. And where else can they find us?
We are the Peter Pan Syndrome podcast. We specifically go through lore of the movie, between the runtime. And if we have the VHS, we'll go through the trailer too.
Nice.
But that's why our blind spot is kind of directors and actors, and we don't really know in box office. We don't know any of that. We just exactly the movie. So, that's all you have to do. And you can find us on Facebook at the Peter Pan Syndrome podcast Facebook group.
And who are you that is speaking? Are you Alex?
I'm Alex, yes.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
Glad we covered that, guys. But thank you so much, Alex, Ariana, and also Paul. I really appreciate you guys so much. But I don't appreciate you the most. Mostly, I appreciate you. Yes, you listening right now. Ralph, Pat, Daniel, Chosen. Whether this is your first time listening to the show or you're a part of our Rad Rewinder community, thank you for spending time with us, and we pray you are more joyful now than when you first hit play. I have been and continue to be Francisco Ruiz. You can find me on Twitter at FXRetro_, and also on Instagram at FXRUIZX. You can DM me at either of those places for pixel art commissions.
Finally, we find great honor to be part of the Christian Geek Central network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
You can catch us at CGC or our website, but like a Pokemon, we got to catch you all for The Karate Kid Part 3, our next episode of the Retro Rewind podcast with Alex and Ariana Ortiz.
Hey!
Woo!
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to nav point Omega and return to base.
Alrighty, guys, I'm jumping into Thunder Road 2 now. I'm heading off to watch and review Karate Kid 3. While you guys stay here, and hopefully my future self will be here shortly to help, with the bonus episodes of Cobra Kai Season 2. Say hello to my future self for me. And for all those of you who are still listening to this episode, you can keep it for your collection. I know you like it.